Breaking news alert.
And you are looking live, or you're about to be looking live. There's a breaking news alert right now out of downtown where the Jacksonville police are speaking right now. Let's go there live.
Charged with forgery, fraud, and some narcotics charges. She is placed in our jail at that time. She just so happens to be pregnant at the time that she's placed in the jail. She gives her then 2-year-old and 4-year-old children to their father at the time that she's arrested. That father is 29-year-old Dwayne Whedon. He's a black male, and he's actually homeless at the time that he takes custody of her 2 kids. They are his children as well. Because he's homeless, he checks himself in to the Sulzbacher Center directly behind the sheriff's office here. They provide him services, and he stays there with the 2 kids until August 13th of 2014, and I'll walk you through this timeline here. That's when Miss Branch gives birth to their child. She's in our jail, goes over to UF Health, gives birth to their child, and he is Nehemiah Whedon, and he's a biracial male. Dwayne Whedon is also the father of that child and takes custody of him just a couple days after he's born. Whedon remains in the Sulzbacher Center with now 3 kids. Just so happens on September 15th of 2014, Miss Branch is sentenced and begins to serve her sentence out at Florida State Prison. In October of 2014, and the dates are a little bit off, so I'll just use the month of October 14th, Whedon tells the caseworker at Sulzbacher that he's having some trouble caring for Nehemiah, and he's going to try to seek other places to put Nehemiah. The next day, he sees that same caseworker and tells that caseworker, as a matter of fact, he's made arrangements with some family members of his out of state, and he has turned over custody, care, and control of Nehemiah to that family member out of state. Flash forward to December of that same year, in 2014, Whedon, because of some general behavioral issues that he has at Sulzbacher, is asked to leave the Sulzbacher with the kids. He has both of the children at that point in time, is asked to leave and leave Sulzbacher to places unknown. I'll go to almost a year from that point in time to November 22nd of last year, of 2015. Miss Branch is released from Florida State Prison and makes contact with Whedon at that time. She gets the 2 children from him, and Whedon tells her at that time about what has transpired with Nehemiah, that he's given Nehemiah to family members of his out of state, and Miss Branch really is not questioning that information from him, and kind of moves on with her life. December 31st, New Year's Eve of last year, Branch is settled in with her family, living with them, and as she discusses Nehemiah's custody, they become concerned, if you will, with the circumstances that surrounded the transfer of custody of Nehemiah to Whedon's family. So at that point in time, they called the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, only because that's where her family lives. The Sheriff's Office out there comes out and turns the case over to us, and we begin, at that point in time, New Year's Day, begin our investigation into the custody of Nehemiah and where he is. Whedon has not been able to be contacted by JSO detectives since then, and Branch last had contact with him on December 21st. That was by telephone. He has Whedon has numerous family members who live in various states, out of state on the East Coast and kind of towards the central U.S. It is what you would think would be an easy task for us just to make a couple calls to try to find the custody of Nehemiah has turned into a very logistically difficult and laborsome event that we spent this last week trying to do. Apparently, Whedon is estranged from his family members, and many of those family members are estranged from each other. So we've had to do independent contacts with each one, repeated efforts to try to get the information out. What, again, should have been an easy task turned into all week. We've worked through the week, but it was this weekend, again, still working here, we've gained information and put together that we strongly believe that little Nehemiah is deceased, and he's deceased from unknown reasons. I truly can't go into a whole lot more details about what that is, because this is still a very active, very fluid case, and I don't want to jeopardize any aspects of what we're doing and what we're working now with over-providing details to the public. But the facts that we put together truly strongly believe us to believe the fact that Nehemiah is deceased, and we believe that occurred back in November of 2014, or excuse me, October of 2014, when he made those allegations to the Sulzbacher staff that he had turned the child over to family members. This child is not with any family members that we've been able to locate, and he's certainly not with his mother. And again, that's why we're here on Sunday evening. We've worked through the week up until this point this afternoon when we felt strongly to go ahead and step out. And what we're doing here is trying to find anybody who may have seen Weeden or Nehemiah back in that September, October time frame. And I know this is a while back, and asking people's memory to be stretched. Weeden frequented the Springfield area. He was also known to frequent the Bay Meadows Road area and some areas on Jacksonville's south side. There's a couple pictures that will be distributed in your packet. One is Weeden with short hair. One is Weeden with longer hair.
All right, you've been listening live to a press conference at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office in downtown Jacksonville. That's Chief Tom Hackney talking. Details coming out about a child by the name of Nehemiah Weeden, who may be missing right now, could be deceased rather. Channel 4's Nicole Snyder is there at the news conference right now. She'll have much more coming up a little later.